Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be fixing a Craftsman 6.75 gold Briggs & Stratton, baby. Now, if you're looking at this mower, you might not have this mower, but if you have it where the air filter is a box like this repair is going to work for you. So if you see this box air filter with the 1/8 millimeter or the flathead, your choice, this repair will work for you. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix it, clean the carburetor. We're going to start it up, make sure she runs great. But these carburetors, they're a pain in the ass, they're easy to break, so you got to be careful. I'll have links in the description if you just want to buy a new one. This one does not have the choke. Oh yeah, it does, because there's no primer bulb. So this one does have the choke. The ones with the primer bulb, same concept. I'll have a link in the description with and without it. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Oh, and I just want to say, tools for this repair, pretty simple. Steel cutoff clamps if you have gas in your gas tank, 8 millimeter, and a 10 millimeter. That's all you're going to need for this repair. Oh, 13 for the bottom of the float too. And maybe some carburetor cleaning tools, but that's it. You can get away without the carburetor cleaning tools. So 10, 8, 13, steel cutoff, and needle nose pliers. Pretty simple. Let's get into it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, to start, we're going to take off our air filter, and that's just an 8 millimeter or a flathead. That is your choice. Once you get the air filter off, you can inspect it. This one's fairly clean. It's a little dirty, but it doesn't need to be changed. It's not gummed up or anything bad. From here, you're going to have 3 8 millimeters. 1, 2, 3. And now you're just going to take those off. Once you get all 3 of those off, just pry it off. You don't have to remove this if you don't want to. That's your choice. And now, for the fun part, all you got to do now is we're pretty much almost got that carburetor off. We're going to take our fuel clamps here. I didn't even bother to look to see if this had gas in it. Yeah, it got a little bit. It smells okay. Now, because this one has a choke, if yours doesn't have the choke, you could skip this part, skip over it. But because this one has a choke, we just have to loosen this top bolt up here. Now, normally that's like a 6 millimeter, but you can get it with a pair of an adjustable wrench, and all you got to do is just loosen it. Then you can hand twist it the rest of the way off. Now we just have to completely remove the nut. We don't actually have to take like the choke off. We can just let it hang. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. See, now we got it off. Just let it hang. That's not going to hurt nothing. Now from here, we're going to take our 10 millimeter, and on either side of the carburetor, I guess we can remove that fuel line first, huh? That way it doesn't get in our way later. And I'm going to tell you guys later why I don't like these carburetors compared to all the other modern ones. So on either side of the carburetor, 2 10 millimeters. But like I said, these carburetors are relatively cheap. And I'll tell you how you can tell it's an original one, because this one is stamped Briggs & Stratton, but the original ones are always painted. Now if you're in a place where there's a lot of sun and your carburetor is outside a lot, you want to be careful taking these off. So once it's down, what you want to do is grab the carburetor and slowly wiggle it on the Z-bend here and twist it off. You want to make sure you don't break that. If you break that, you need a new carburetor, or this part, but you might as well just buy a new carburetor at that point. Gas in that looks fairly clean. Make sure there should be an O-ring on here. You could just leave that on, replace it if you want. You don't have to. But once you got the carburetor off, it's fairly simple from there. Now from here, all you got to do to take this whole carburetor apart is 1 13 millimeter on the bottom. Now we can throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner if you want. We're not going to for this repair. We're going to inspect it and see why this carb failed, and just clean it up by hand. Now, why I don't like these carburetors. As a matter of fact, this one looks fairly clean. I don't even see why it's a problem. But a lot of times when you take this off, this gasket can break. And if your carburetor's been sitting a long time, there's a little seat. They call it a seat. Most of them don't have seats anymore. They have the tip on the needle. And that seat can get blown off very easily from air compressor. It can get corroded, rotted, and it's just a pain. Like, why even add that? Nowadays, carburetors don't have that anymore. But this is a very popular mower. And these carburetors are on rototillers, and they're on everything. There's only one hole in here. You just want to make sure you get in there and pop it through. Like I said, I'll have links in the description and everything. Okay, the main jet's all the way through. Seat looks good. So to be honest, I didn't see why this carburetor is bad, but the engine wasn't starting. So what we'll do is we'll just do our basic spraying in every hole carburetor cleaner, making sure they come out where they need to come out. Put on gloves if you want to put on gloves. This is your jet on this one. So you just want to spray in the holes. There's 2 holes on the side and 1 in the front. That's cleared out. Fairly simple to put back together. This is a pretty basic carburetor too, so I do like that. Because all it is literally 1 pin for the float, needle, bowl, gasket, and a 13 millimeter. So by all means, this carburetor should be good. So now we're just going to put it all back together. And I'm going to show you how to put the carburetor on, but then off camera I'm going to bolt everything back up. So putting the carburetor back on, all you got to do is figure out which way it goes, and kind of the same process here. You're going to put it on and then slowly bend it up. And then from there you can just mount it on like that. It's going to stay, as you guys see. You slide in your 10 millimeters and you start them. And you can use your favorite battery-powered lithium impact if you want. Or you can just do them by hand like I'm doing in this video to show you that you don't always need power tools. Now this is what they call an automatic choke. It's always choked until it runs. So in order to put the choke back on, all you gotta do is line up the lever there. Just in there like that. And then restart the bolt here. Make sure it works. Perfect. You can zip that down at the end. So now I'm going to put everything back together and we're going to try to start it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like I've said, now that I got it all put back together, I can put my tools away and let's try to start it and see if she runs. This is an auto choke system, so it should just fire right up. And it's not at all. Matter of fact, it seems hard to pull. So now we're going to do a few quick other inspections. It's a brand new blade. Oh, look at that. I think that's our problem right there. That belt all twisted like that. Now that's just for the drive. But it's still going to affect us pulling and starting this thing. Let's see if we can just pop that belt back into place. Hang on. Let me put you guys down. I wonder if he noticed that when he changed this blade. Probably not, because okay. Also, don't do what I did while you're working under this. Pull the spark plug. That was a little dangerous on my part, but see how she runs now? Oh yeah, way easier to pull. Still not starting. Give it the old carburetor cleaner, and has gas. What I think happened is that it's cold and it hasn't been ran in 6 months. Now, it's kind of interesting. I didn't know we were going to find that belt problem at the end. So now it runs, so that's good. I'm going to start it up again here in a little bit, a few more times. just to make sure, but it is like 26 degrees here in Arizona. Exhausting. Hey, give it a like if you liked it. Give it a dislike if you disliked it. Also, make sure if you love lithium tools, subscribe to this channel. I show you guys how to repair stuff like this, and I talk about business tips and whatever comes on my mind. So there you have it. If you have this box, this video is for you.